My friend, today is one of those days that will go down in history. The Buffalo Bills have just confirmed the arrival of a name that could mark a new era for the franchise. I know you, as a fan, have been thrilled by big names in the past, but this arrival is something different. A strategic, risky, and extremely calculated decision. And I'll tell you all about it now. But first, like and subscribe because the information I have will blow your mind. Imagine this. A packed Highmark Stadium, the fans ecstatic, and emerging from the tunnel, wearing the Bills' number 11 jersey, Micah Parsons. Yes, my friend, it seems like a pipe dream, but in the last few hours, this dream has become a reality. The bombshell exploded on Friday, when Parsons himself took to social media to announce, "I want to leave Dallas." The impact was immediate. The NFL world stopped, and Buffalo, he felt it. Fans were on high alert, insiders were drawing up their plans, and the Bills board has certainly already started making calculations. We're talking about one of the most feared defenders in the league, a four-time Pro Bowler, three-time All-Pro, 52.5 sacks in just 4 seasons, a pressure machine, a terror for quarterbacks. Having Parsons line up alongside Matt Milano and Ed Oliver would transform the Bills' defense into one of the most aggressive in the NFL. It's the kind of name that changes a franchise's status, from contender to title favorite. But then comes the challenge, the harsh reality, the salary cap. Bills are currently nearly $1 million over the limit. Under normal circumstances, that would be enough to take any momentum out of contention. But SB Nation's Matt Warren went further and put a bold alternative on the table, restructuring Parsons' contract in an extremely creative way. Any ideas? Reducing his base salary to the league minimum and converting the remainder into a guaranteed roster bonus paid on September 1st would spread the financial impact over the years. It's a complex accounting process, almost unexpected, but not impossible. And therein lies the crux. When it comes to Micah Parsons, sometimes they make the impossible seem possible. And Buffalo, currently in a championship window, may feel compelled to take this bold step. Even so, there are further obstacles. Parsons' current contract runs through 2025, but an extension is inevitable. And the cost? A new 5-year deal is estimated to exceed $200 million. That's enough money to stiffen the cap for a long time. In fact, if the Bills signed Parsons today, they'd be projecting a negative $4.5 million impact on their 2026 cap and would have only $40.2 million in cap space in 2027. And that's before re-signing other key players. In other words, in addition to finding a spot to land Parsons today, Brandon Beane would have to anticipate the next 3 years' moves. He'd have to let go of key players, trade, or even release veterans. He'd have to give up comfort and bet everything on a breakout season. It's a high risk, an all-in move worthy of a Hollywood movie. But stop and think for a second. If there's an opportunity to add a talent like Parsons to your defense, would you really hesitate? You look at Josh Allen in his prime, you see Stephon Diggs with the run clock, a solid foundation built over the past few years, and you realize the time is now. The Super Bowl window doesn't last forever. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to go all in. Beane has already proven he's not afraid to take risks. He brought in Von Miller on a massive contract in 2022, gambled on emerging talent in the draft, and has consistently kept the draft competitive even under intense financial pressure. The interest in Parsons, even hypothetical, shows that the front office's mindset remains aggressive. Win now, no matter the cost. And as apparent as it may seem, it's important to remember, this is the NFL. A world where DeAndre Hopkins was traded for a second-round pick, where Tom Brady was released and rewrote history, where in the blink of an eye, a franchise completely changes its fortunes. So no, the Bills' torturer isn't delusional in dreaming about Parsons. He's simply confirming that if there's a chance, no matter how small, it deserves to be considered. Because with him on the field, Buffalo wouldn't just play for wins, they'd play for glory. But while the sidelines are buzzing with this surreal possibility, training camp has brought a very real concern. The Bills' star running back was spotted out of uniform, and that raised red flags in Orchard Park. You know when something just doesn't feel right? Well, that's exactly what hung over the Bills' training camp last Sunday. James Cook, the starting running back and the driving force behind Buffalo's running game, wasn't on the field with his teammates. No uniform, no sprints, no contact. Just him, silent, pedaling alone on a stationary bike on the sidelines. At first glance, it could just be a Veterans Day off. But when it comes to your RB1 in the middle of training camp, every absence becomes a cause for concern. Cook is coming off a competitive season. He rushed for 1,009 yards, 258 receiving yards, and 18 total touchdowns, numbers that place him among the most productive running backs in the AFC. And more than that, he's been a central piece of Joe Brady's offensive plan, a player who offers balance, explosiveness, and security in the backfield. In 2024, his development was one of the pillars that kept the Bills' offense competitive even through periods of fluctuation. But the detail that can't be ignored is the contractual context. first. James Cook is signing his Heat contract in its final year. In other words, 2025 is a turning point for him. The commitment to shine and secure an extension is enormous. He himself spoke about this recently. It's my job. I have to participate to avoid getting fined, but also to show my teammates that I'm ready. I love this game, this franchise. I'm here because I want to be, because I believe we're building. And this commitment is visible. Cook has been training hard since the start of camp, leading the group with energy and focus. So when he appears out of uniform, watching his teammates and not performing any ball handling activities, it's impossible not to connect the dots. The Bills coaching staff hasn't disclosed an injury, but the fact that Cook wasn't on the field at a crucial time in preparation raised a clear red flag. Could something more serious be hidden? Brandon Beane, the franchise's GM, has also publicly expressed his desire to keep Cook longer. But, as always, he made a point of remembering that the salary cap is king. We want to renew ours, but we have to look beyond 2024. Think about 2026, 2027. There's no point in signing someone now and compromising future balance. Everything has to make sense. And then, once again, the puzzle returns to the table. Because while the Bills consider how to fit Micah Parsons' monstrous contract, they also need to decide whether to invest heavily in a running back, a position that, historically, doesn't usually receive large extensions in the modern NFL market. Cook's situation, therefore, is more delicate than it seems. If he's dealing with an injury, even a minor one, it could affect not only his performance this season, but also contract negotiations. The Bills need a healthy and productive Cook by September, and Cook, in turn, needs to show that he's reliable, durable, and indispensable. Every missed practice is one less chance to strengthen that argument. Sonny's absence from practice could be just a blip, or the beginning of a larger narrative. The season hasn't even started yet, and Buffalo is already grappling with difficult dilemmas, maintaining the health of the squad, managing financial expectations, and balancing the desire to win with the need for long-term planning. And if James Cook isn't 100% for the start of the season, the pressure on Josh Allen and the passing attack increases exponentially. After all, every Bills fan knows that the running game is the foundation of success in January. And speaking of absences and fitness issues, James Cook's situation is just the tip of the iceberg. The list of players out of practice reached 12 names last Sunday, and this is causing concern throughout the locker room. Brace yourself because the numbers are alarming. Sunday dawned with some tough news for Bills fans. No fewer than 12 players missed practice, and 4 others were limited. The list of absences is extensive and, in some cases, worrying. Among the names on the forum were Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Tyler Bass, Shaq Thompson, and James Cook himself. The bad news was accompanied by Shakir's status. The wide receiver suffered a high ankle sprain and is expected to miss 4 to 5 weeks, jeopardizing his participation in Week 1. Another serious issue is Maxwell Hairston, who is nursing a sprained medial collateral ligament and has been declared week to week by Sean McDermott. This means the cornerback may return later than the other cornerbacks, a critical factor in a position where the Bills are lacking depth. On the positive side, right tackle Spencer Brown and linebacker Terrell Bernard returned, albeit in limited capacity. Reggie Gilliam and Joshua Palmer also participated partially, the latter dealing with a groin injury. The recurrence of issues among receivers is noteworthy. With Shakir out, Samuel out, and Palmer limited, Buffalo's passing attack is vulnerable. Coach McDermott admitted that the situation is not ideal. With so many players out, we face a dual challenge: maintaining competitiveness on the field and preserving the health of the roster. With so many key players absent or limited, the Bills enter a delicate preseason phase. Their depth will be tested, and difficult decisions may have to be made. Would you risk the financial future of the franchise for a real chance to have Micah Parsons in Buffalo, even knowing that James Cook may not be 100% and that the injury list already exceeds a dozen before the season begins? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel, but later I will come back to update you with the latest news from Buffalo Bills.